Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family, and today I'll be talking about Harry and Meghan's Nigeria tour. So, here are the things that have stood out to me. 1. The nude colour backless dress. Apart from being too long, trailing on the ground, it was exposing so much of her back. It made her look like she was naked, especially with the colour that it was. It was almost the same colour as her skin. 2. The zebra dress with the keyhole under the bust. That was inappropriate. I felt it was something you'd wear coming off the beach. 3. What I would call single white sheet dress. It looked as though she'd leapt out of bed after an afternoon nap and decided that the sheet looked good, so never bothered to change. 4. Bright red dress, because someone told her that Nigerians liked colour. Spaghetti straps, because she wanted to give the finger to the palace again. And 5. Harry and his wife covered themselves on this trip by saying that they were not representing the King nor Great Britain, so they had free rein to do what they wanted, basically. As a side note, I noticed that more and more media outlets are now referring to Meghan as wife rather than her name, Harry and wife. 6. Her outfits were intentional to keep her in the headlines. Shock and awe as regards those outfits, because the first dress was totally inappropriate to wear to a school and also inappropriate to wear in a primarily Muslim and also Christian country. 7. She ignored school children who were about to present her with a traditional gift and dragged Harry over to the cameras. You could see the look of surprise and disappointment in their faces, while Harry was mumbling something. I don't know whether he was saying that they'd come back to them, but it was almost as if he was apologising in some way for Meghan dragging him off. Because let's face it, the cameras are much more important to Meghan than people, especially children. 8. Sitting on gold thrones at a reception. Yes, they really did. 9. They were curtsied to more than once. 10. Comments about the strange bulges under the red dress. I believe it was intentional, as is everything they do. 11. The constant hand-holding during engagements. What else do we expect? This has just gone on for years. It's not going to change. It's part of the show, part of the performance, so that people will maybe look and realise what's happening right in front of their eyes. 12. Meghan gushes about Nigeria and refers to it as my country, which I think was an insulting comment after arriving so late. 13. Wearing what looks like an upside-down cross with her white dress. This made me smile because very clever way to offend. 14. Meghan was wearing the same jewellery as the late Princess Diana's visit to Nigeria. Yes, she wore the same earrings, same necklace, and watch and bracelets. Although they were replicas, she was trying to look the same. 15. Harry trying to look interested in the people he meets, but his involvement with a certain African organisation, which is under investigation for serious activities, needs to be addressed. And all this acting like a philanthropist only puts the spotlight on him even more, because people will not forget about that, and they are still going to be questioning his involvement in it. 16. Harry's very strange visit to a hospital where the whole thing looked like it was staged, and it probably was. A man who had had his leg amputated was lying on his bed with Harry standing nearby, waving his arms and asking him if he'd named his prosthetic leg. The poor man didn't understand what Harry was saying due to the language barrier, but Harry carried on and repeated himself, waving his arms and saying, "Have you named it? Have you named it?" in what I could see was a slightly aggressive manner. And then when the man responded, Harry just walked off. It was very bizarre. A total contrast from his mother when she visited people in hospital. 17. Meghan was presented with a traditional dress by a group of women, and it seemed to be their way of telling her to cover up and respect their traditions. It was a very clever thing to do. She could have worn the dress to her next event, but it's obvious the way she was looking at it that she would never be wearing it. So, I have some questions after all that. My questions are: 1. Why go to a high-risk place when you're constantly complaining about lack of security back in the relatively safer UK? 2. Why is Harry always lecturing on mental health and even lecturing the little Nigerian children who are probably more mentally together than he will ever be? 3. Why do people still think that Harry and Meghan are genuine and for some reason cannot see through all of this? It is so very staged, and it is getting worse, and people are still oblivious to this. So let me have your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.